Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the West East Podcast. My name is Amanda, and I am once again, as always, I wouldn't have it any other way, joined by Dr. Art. Good morning, Guru.
Good morning.
How is Mumbai? It looks very sunny today.
Yeah, it's hot.
Hot. It's starting to get warmer in Ontario as well. We actually had everything from snow to freezing rain to a thunderstorm to just everything under the sun uh, going on here. But we're not talking about the weather today, folks, even though that seems to be like one of my favorite topics.
I
But
think we
another one
always
is,
start on that note. Like whenever we start
yes,
on weather only.
always start with the weather. I'm a sucker for small talk, I gotta say. I always have been, but I'm genuinely interested in the
Yeah,
weather.
but because
I'm
we
also
we
interested
always
in, yeah.
conversation is real, so it will come naturally only that way.
Yeah. I think too, I've said this before, I very much crave the temperatures and weather in India. So I'm always asking you to live vicariously through you. Uh, but today we're actually talking about AI, which is something I'm also interested in. Today's topic, or sorry, today's title, and we are in episode 11. The title is "So Tell Me AI." So that's what we'll be talking about today. And are you excited, Guru? Do you have experience with AI?
Yes, definitely. And I'm always excited to speak with you. So, any topic, give me any topic.
Anything? Well, today I think you'll actually have the. I've given you on purpose the easier task because as much as I like AI, we use it a bit at work, and not like it's nothing like what people I guess fear about AI taking over our jobs, and I don't personally I don't think it's like sophisticated and intelligent enough to just like do a full takeover. You still need humans involved, but we do use things like Copilot, which is Microsoft's version of ChatGPT. So I guess technically that's AI because it's a more sophisticated web search, or it's supposed to be. Do you use any AI in your day to day life or at work?
Yes, I use ChatGPT, or we also have, in our hospital, we have a computer based, like we prepare everything on computer. So they are also planning to incorporate, like AI feature in the system where they can summarize our work, or it will make us, help us do better, like faster, not better, faster. Sorry.
Yeah,
So it's like,
yeah,
so I think what I can say is, recently, like since my experience, I have seen people use AI to formulate emails, to formulate essays, or to do quick search, or to make images. Like recently, if you know the Studio Ghibli, I think I'm pronouncing it right, is like trend
yeah,
was recently so on. So like if one person is doing, other person is doing that quickly, so that is like something going on other, other extreme of it. But in day to day life, what I feel is it's a smart assistant if you use it correctly. But you should not, like hire, or replace it to use your thinking. It should not be a creative laziness. That's
yes,
what I feel. Like it should not be a
yeah,
substitute.
yeah,
What do you
yeah.
say?
I think that's a very good point. Yeah, it's a good caution, and it's a similar caution to using the internet. I
like
remember when,
like imagine,
uh,
just I'll give you example. This is AI, so
yeah,
very we are talking very advanced. But imagine when I was a kid, we had the dialer phone. Like we had to
yeah,
dial or
the
push the
rotary phone,
button.
yes,
Yeah. So
yeah.
landlines we used to call them. So it was like you pick up the receiver, you dial the phone, and then you answer. We had by heart all the numbers of our people, like
Yep.
closest people. And when once the
Yes.
mobile came, if you ask me my number, it will take me 2 seconds to answer. So that much, it gives you advantage, but if you don't use it correctly, it will make you more lazy also. So you have to
Yeah, I
know
agree.
the pros and cons. Everything has its pros and cons, like television. Like you use any invention or any technology, it has its own plus sides and minus sides. So it's like use it wisely, then it will be your best
Yeah.
friend.
I agree, and I think that the intent of a lot of tech companies was to create like a virtual assistant. I think that's kind of like a big goal of AI. But I mean, I don't know. I don't work for any of the big tech companies, so I can't speak like
I
from
I don't have
experiences.
any
Just my
like
opinion.
I am not even near any companies
Yeah.
fucking AI. I am just a consumer or user.
Yeah, and a participant and observer, the same here. But this conversation reminds me of when I was in school. I remember our librarians, they used to host these, like, I guess, they would pull us out of class and we would go and learn about the library, how to search books, the importance of research, how to conduct proper research, like for our school papers. And this was right around the time that search engines were just like starting to be used online, and the big like university reserves. And so the school board paid for some like, I don't know, it wasn't online encyclopedias, but it's essentially like the archives, right, of whatever big academic hub. And so they were teaching us how to research, and they were talking about the dangers of just trusting anything you find online, right? And understanding accuracy, because we know when a book gets published, it has to go through a lot of like different checks and balances. But anybody, who can pay for, let's say, a GoDaddy domain can create a website and put whatever they want. With they might get banned for certain things, obviously, but essentially you could just put whatever information. Um, Getting a little bit off topic, but it's important for AI, and I'll bring it back because sometimes I use that Copilot tool, and I laugh when I get the results of the question because I realize, oh, the tool is really just responding to some of the key words, and some of the responses it gives are not relevant at all. But it's learning, I guess. I'm told that's a good thing. So we'll let it learn and see how the searches improve. Um, but it's definitely, I think it's an important discussion to remember that that distinction between this is replacing my thinking process versus this is a tool that will help me to increase my efficiency, or to optimize and find answers quicker than maybe like I can recall just on my own memory. Uh, it's very important. Now, what do you think about something like AI art? Because this is like a hot topic when the conversation turns from artificial intelligence to help us find answers versus artificial intelligence to help us create like pieces of art, or using people's voice in music. What's your take on it, Dr. Art?
So for instant fun of it, it's fine. But I always respect, like, if you say, like, we also had computers for that. Like, there were softwares, we make
Yep.
animation. So that we had that computerized, version of art always present. Like, it has evolved. It's not like AI has brought it again. But I believe, and I strongly believe that, the human touch of art, the artist, the process of art, like see, it will take me 2 minutes to create image on the art. Like, I had there are some apps, you just type the words which you want, or a description what you want, and they'll give you immediately 5 images for that. But where is fun in that, where is soul in that? When I want to, like, if I am
Yeah.
an artist, if I want to create something, and imagine me drawing it, taking fun of it, rubbing it, getting little bit pissed that I'm not getting it right, and after when I get it, it is complete, the fun of creation or the fulfillment, that is something which is missing in AI image. That's what I feel. Like, all see, I don't say that we are better, but human intelligence is something, which created AI, so it will always be, a higher step ahead if used correctly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm telling you, there will be a trend, or there will be, I don't know what to call it, but there will be a time when people will prefer handmade art or
Yeah.
handmade things better than a computerized version. Remember that, because the
Yes.
beauty
Yeah.
of it, the soul, the hard work, like nowadays Gen Z, I don't know what to call the generation, Gen Z or like recent generation, they don't
I
know the
think it's
fun of it
Gen
because they have, people are so busy, they want shortcuts, they want to, be first, they
Yeah,
want to be ahead in life, they want to be ahead in race. But the fun of creation, like I still remember, now in school you get the wrapped class notes, like they will cover your note and
yeah,
ready made it is available. For me it was so fun that before the school start we used to bring the books, we used to bring the cover, we used to cut it, we used to stick it. So there is something,
yes,
like I always take fun of process. I'm very big like enjoying the process. Like even if I cook, though my final product matters a lot, but like I enjoy the process. That's who I am.
yeah,
So maybe even more
yeah,
people will come for it. And meanwhile we can use AI for all the fine tuning or tailored, or when we are like in a hurry or something and we want something fast, that way we can use it in the side. That is always like
yeah,
appreciated, or it will be always beneficial. That's what I feel.
yeah, yeah.
because
I like that. I think that's a very
because
balanced
one
take.
more point I want to give is, like, when I create art, I'm using my cognitive function. Like I'm using my brain, I'm
Mhm.
in the moment, I'm doing that. Like it is a therapy. Like art therapist. I'm art therapist.
Yeah,
So art is therapy. Like if I create an AI, that process of activating my brain, and that's the more we are going in that hustle and bustle and hurry and being best result and being quick and being this and being that, we are landing up in more anxiety of being perfect. Like
yeah,
people have the wrong notion in the life that you have to be perfect, because the
yeah.
way social media
What's the
and
fun in
everything
that?
works, I feel that even
Yeah,
I was
uh,
like I was one time like that, but I had to work on it, and now I just enjoy the way I am. I accept
yeah,
the way I am, a
yeah,
flawed, creative mess, whatever you call me. I'm okay with that.
yeah. Yeah. And there's a lot of great things in what you just said, and I think like the daring to be imperfect, uh, understanding a balanced approach. You're not saying that AI doesn't have a role, but you're
Yeah, so
also,
AI can, yeah, it
honoring
will be
the
like a
a person.
calculator or a telephone or a mobile or another app. You can be one other,
Yeah,
addition in your thing, but it should not replace your
yeah.
intelligence.
I agree, and I'll add one more thing to that, and I think that that's also the conversation about like artists, make their livelihood off of their art. So, in the case of like somebody using somebody's voice, you know what I mean, like on a song, and it's not their voice, it's an AI version of their voice. To me, that's not okay because that person didn't consent, right? And you can pretty much apparently just make somebody say like have anything said in somebody's voice. It's kind of like a little bit concerning, but I mean all we can do in my opinion is just keep having these conversations and keep reinforcing that like we need to have the role of like human beings still. I'll add one more thing too, and when you're saying that the trend going back to art made by humans, and you can already start to see some of that creep back in. The new iPhone has a function on it. It's the Apple Log, I think is what it's called. And so you can film on your Apple phone and have the same sort of like quality and ability to log the footage in the way that we used to with like a camcorder. I'm not like a super techie buff, but so I hope I said that correctly. Somebody fact check me in the comments. But Apple Log, if folks go and look that up, it's already, in my opinion, like a sign that there will always be a place for humans, and especially where art is concerned.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so
And
I will. Yes,
and I
tell me.
also wanted to share one, like fun thing. So when we decided that we'll do it this episode, like we will be doing this topic, so while I was lying down 15 minutes back, and I just wanted to see how it comes. So I just typed in chat GPT that can you, me and my sister-in-law have we podcast, And can this is the topic today: AI versus old methods. And can you give me a script for the podcast? It gave me
Oh
like
wow.
whole script, but when I went through it, it will never match the vibe which we are speaking, you know. If I read that,
I'm kind of
if I read that,
yeah.
it will look so artificial, like it will not be a,
Yeah.
our soul will not be in that, definitely.
Yes. uh, I'm so curious to read, but yeah, I think that that's a good example
And
of
it literally, and
AI
the
has a
way
way to
it came,
go.
it gave me so much like, you know, I learned also from it that this is the way we can do it. Like, how can you make a script? I learned how to make script, but not the podcast script, you know. I learned something else from
Yeah.
that, but not the things which I wanted. So it came like, Urvashi, you say this sister, because I didn't write your name, so it came sister-in-law. So sister-in-law came, this, and all the dialogues and everything came, and I was like, nope, this is not us.
I mean, whoever it is, it sounds like they had a full podcast episode, but it wasn't us.
I just wanted to know for the fun of it,
That's
you know.
funny.
But I didn't share it
Yeah,
with you for the
absolutely.
purpose because I didn't want it to impact our
Mhm.
conversation.
Yeah. Well, I think too, that just goes to show that you can't script, like our conversations are not scripted. We decide on, maybe some questions or obviously the
Like,
topic
we
of
have
focus,
bullet
but
points, but we don't go by the, you
yeah,
know, all the stations are not mentioned of that
yes,
train.
exactly. But
Even,
one day maybe we can ask ChatGPT, and we can just read an excerpt and say this is what ChatGPT thinks that our our conversation should say.
and imagine
Yeah,
you know, us speaking that way, and I will never feel comfortable with that, you know.
I agree. I feel like I would need to
In
like
half
be
of the
sitting very
time,
in a stiff way.
believe me, half of the
Yeah.
time when we are recording the conversation, things I say so promptly that even I don't know I'm going to say it.
Yeah. Yeah. uh, that means that you feel comfortable and in the moment. I take that as a huge compliment.
Yeah.
And thank you for speaking your mind. That's what we're supposed to be doing here. I agree. A lot of the things that I say just sort of come to me in the moment. In the sense that like I obviously know the topic, but I didn't think about that point until you said something, and then I say, "Oh,
Like
wait a minute."
it's like
Um,
saying a word or saying
yeah.
you say a question, and that triggers something in my brain, and I just say it. So imagine how human intelligence is works. Like, we don't need the search word
Yes.
also. We also have our own engine in our brain.
This, and you can search. There are stories of AI when artificial intelligence figures out it's speaking to another artificial intelligence, then they are no longer speaking in a language that we understand. And I'll just leave it at that. But there's a lot of examples that people can go and look up. It's very interesting. One other thing that I want to test
Tell me.
today.
I'm very
So
excited.
um, so now I know, so Guru uses ChatGPT, like you said, the Studio Ghibli stuff. I have two questions that I sent you. I know the answers to these questions, but I want to see how fast AI can catch up. Are you down to play this game with me, Guru?
Just give me one moment.
Wait, no problem. No problem. So there's actually three questions. Two of them are like objective facts,
Mm-hmm.
or I guess questions that would end in objective fact. The third one is just a question I really hope AI is on board with,
Okay.
and that'll be how I test how much AI has learned.
I have the questions.
All
I'm
right.
just copying it. You let me know, and then I will.
Okay. So we'll go with the first question.
Okay. Tell me.
So the first question is, how old was the oldest cat that ever lived? So go ahead and press search, and then stop me when ChatGPT brings up a result. I have 38. His name was Cream Puff, and he
It
lived
came.
from
It came.
1967. Okay, so
So oldest
what
cat.
did
I'll read.
ChatGPT
Yeah.
say? Yeah.
Oldest cat ever. Cream Puff holds the record. Lived in the ripe old age of 38 years, 1967 to 2005.
Wow.
The cat saw more decades than some sitcoms. And actually, she never used to catch mouses, but she used to train them. This game.
Oh wow. Does it say anything about a Guinness World Record?
No.
No? Okay,
Maybe,
so ChatGPT had
maybe if I
more
do
facts
more
than me,
refined search, then it might come. Yeah.
then it will come. But that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So we both had 38. Cream Puff lived 1967 to 2005. I didn't know about the catching mice, but I do know that the cat holds a Guinness World Record.
Oh, thank you for
Okay,
teaching me the
the
fact.
yes, thank you, thank you for enlisting ChatGPT to teach us. All right, so the second question is about a Canadian rapper. All right, so the second question is what was Shad's first album?
Okay.
So go ahead and hit search on that. Shad's first album was When This Is Over. It was from the year 2005. And it was self-financed from
It
prize
came.
money that he won, I
It
believe, on
came.
the
It
rate.
came.
Okay, go ahead.
So
Tell me, and then
when,
I'll tell you a story about Shad
yeah,
after
so
this.
it what was the I have typed what was Shad's first album. When This Is Over,
Yeah,
released in
yeah,
2005, self-financed with the prize
very,
money. Imagine the winning a
yeah.
prize and thinking time to drop bars, not buy PS2. Respect.
That's awesome. So yeah, so we both had the same information. Now here's something you won't find on ChatGPT. My husband and I live in Toronto, and we were going for a walk one day, and all of a sudden my husband looks up and he says, "Oh hey Shad, how's it going?" And Shad just happened to be walking in the same neighborhood as us, and they just greeted each other. I think he was just as surprised as we were that somebody recognized him. My husband is like covered in tattoos, and a lot of them are hip hop related. So, and he was wearing, I think, a Jada Kiss T-shirt.
Okay.
So I think just on so many levels, Shad was just like surprised that, and we just said, "Hey man, how's it going?" And then we just kept it moving. So I was totally starstruck, but it was very cool. He's a very humble person. Um, but yeah, that's my Shad story. Uh, Toronto's a cool place, everybody. Sometimes. So ChatGPT is pretty good. These are questions that I knew the answer to. If I had to find the answer, I'm sure ChatGPT would have annihilated me. But I do have one more question,
Sure.
and I just want to know what ChatGPT is gonna say, because in my opinion, and I think you would agree, and I think Shiv would agree as well. This is an objective question, but a lot of people would call it a subjective question. So, Guru, can you ask ChatGPT, is Die Hard a Christmas film? This is the final question. Now, the obvious answer is yes, because then
Yeah,
we get
I
to watch
got
it
the
at Christmas
answer.
as well as all around. Okay,
So
what does
it
ChatGPT
says that
say?
yes, definitely, because nothing says holiday spirit like explosion, hostage situation, and Bruce Willis crawling through vents in a tank top.
Welcome to the
It's
party,
just
pal. I'm on
one
board.
more line. It's just like Home Alone, but for grown-ups.
Oh, wow. Okay. I might have a newfound respect for ChatGPT
Even
or wherever they got
even I
that
am
search
on
from.
tank top
Yes.
because she calls me uh,
You are.
John McClane.
Guru is John McClane. You have the poppet to prove it.
Like I have survived in life
Oh
so
my
many
goodness.
situations which no one comes alive
Yes.
and be sane.
Uh, and you didn't think you'd find yourself in, and that you, by all accounts, people would have thought you were maybe even ill-equipped to handle, and yet you like succeeded in the most uh
I'm just
like
happy I survived and I'm sane.
awesome way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was trying to give you a positive without using expletives. I was gonna say. So I'm just going with an awesome way, in a totally awesome way. Uh, but okay, that was fun. I'm happy that ChatGPT agrees that it's a Christmas film.
And I like that the
Tell me,
last line
Guru.
which came like it's a home alone but for adults, for grown ups, sorry. So that
Yes,
one like it was a good twist for me.
yes, I agree. I agree. Um, unrelated to AI, but like we can talk about Die Hard at any moment. Which one's your favorite of the
All of them.
collections?
The first one, actually. And the
Oh,
third one.
oh, the third one is my choice. Absolutely.
I still remember
Um,
all the dialogue in Hindi as well as English, because when we saw the movie, we were kids, and we had like
yes,
we didn't have the option of like seeing in English, so we had to get the dubbed version.
the Hindi dub. Yes, I've heard of the Hindi dub of this one and the Mummy. Were popular in your house.
Mummy, you close my eyes and you tell me, and you just mute the film, and I'll narrate you whole film, with
The
each
whole
dialogues.
thing.
Call me crazy,
Okay,
but
deal.
that's me.
uh, I would just say it's going to be necessary for all of us to keep up with this Chat GPT because it already knows that Die Hard's a Christmas film, so the sky's the limit now.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Well, I mean, I think we covered a lot of ground.
Yeah. More
Uh,
than we
uh,
thought, right?
on this. Yeah, absolutely. I literally just thought let's test ChatGPT, and then it turned into this whole conversation. But it was good. It was good, and thank you for going on that journey with me, Dr. Art. Uh, all right.
And can you
So, folks,
believe,
that's gonna
we
do it.
are on our 11th episode? Like,
I know. You know what? I think like we'll probably even be finished season one soon. I don't know how. Like we didn't really decide on a number of episodes, but at some point,
we
a
have
couple
to,
episodes back,
yeah.
we mentioned that there was gonna be like potentially a special reveal. So if you have been listening and you've been thinking, wow, audio's great, but I'd really love to be able to put like a face to the voice, you might get your wish, and you might get your wish soon, but we won't say any more for now. um, I think this is a good place to end it
Yep.
for this episode. What do you think, Dr. Art?
So I would like to say one last thing. Like,
Please.
as a parents, like we have an obligation to teach our kids. Like we want to give them all the happiness and all the facilities and all the technologies we want. But what I have learned from my parents, their roots were very strong. So I go both ways. Like I know my roots also, and I know technology also. So I just want to request everyone, when you are teaching your next generation, give them some of your root as well as the advantage on the technology as well. Like let the chat GPT, or sorry, AI, or whatever you want to call, there is very fine line between being using them or let it use you.
Yes.
So I would like to say, don't cross that line. That was the only thing I wanted to
Yeah.
say.
Oh, thank you for saying that. That was a better conclusion than I could have ever given, and all I'll say is ditto. All I gotta say is ditto. Thank you for that, Dr. Art. Thanks everybody for listening to our episode today. If you feel so empowered to use ChatGPT or AI, do so at your own discretion. And we look forward to seeing you for another episode of the We Podcast. Have a good one, everybody. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
So one for my city, two for my city. God knows what I wouldn't do for my city. Three for my city, four for my city. No, I'm the one who'd go to war for my city. Five for my city, six is my city. Holla at me if y'all vibe with my city. Come try on my city, don't you lie in my city. Symbol of truth, I'll fight for my city.
The West East podcast is part of the We campaign, also known as Anti-East Indian Hate Campaign by Viragya Entertainment. You can weigh in on the conversation in the meantime in our comments section or on our social media. You can also visit www.imshivam.net/w.e. Remember, Vasudev Kutumbakam. We are all one family. Until next time.